And we're rolling. All right. So obviously, potential issue. Should we launch our rockets at the temperature that we are given? Which we know that outside temperature
Well, we
is
don't know. That's the problem, actually. We don't know what the temperature is going to be outside.
predicted temperature outside is about
It's
60,
supposed to be 60 degrees.
and the temperature that the O-ring seal can tolerate is only about 55 degrees Celsius safely is what the information we're given. So the idea is, are we going to choose to launch knowing that with potential errors that could come up, or are we going to postpone the launch?
Yes.
So I think first thing that should be addressed is just kind of potential issues. What could come up? What?
Well, I guess we should start with stuff that if we do launch and the temperature is not as high as it needs to be, it's lower than we estimated. That is obviously a problem. Um, we've seen it in history before. It does not,
Doesn't
it's
quite.
not good.
So
So,
like the just kind of take into account the unpredictability of weather.
uh,
Yeah, you could probably just make it like a bullet point list.
benefits and potential. Oh, my handwriting is horrible. Risks. So go bigger. There we go. Potential risks obviously is the rocket just completely failing. So
So safety issues
yeah. And that's just endangering the lives of obviously everyone on board.
and safety of the crew around too, because if that
That is true.
debris coming down from
Safety
that is a big problem.
of all involved,
Yeah,
everyone involved
yeah.
is in danger. I mean, if it blows up right on launch, then
Not good.
everyone there is going to be at risk. Um, but mostly the people on board, and then another potential risk is, just the money that's involved in all that. It is a company.
Have
It's
the
not,
financial issues
and
with it.
they don't have infinite money, so if something goes wrong with the rocket, and that's millions of dollars for that to replace it.
And
Um,
actually, just real quick, I want to jump back to the weather issue because I think one thing that needs to be taken into account with that is that based off of the information we were given on temperature and with the O-ring, just information, as it gets colder, it's gonna lose
yeah,
its sealing pressure. Which means that as temperature and I guess sealing pressure. So as temperature increases, sealing pressure also increases. So it's kind of a linear graph if you think about it. And then if we're saying, say that 55 is about here on temperature, then that winds up about there, then however much sealing pressure that equals. We haven't really gone over that. We aren't rocket scientists, so as long as we are in this margin, theoretically, we should be fine.
yeah.
Anywhere in here is no go. So I think the main thing with temperature is that margin of between because there's only 5 degrees Celsius between where it's supposed to completely stop losing pressure or where it's rated to stop losing pressure. So that small margin could make or break this theoretically.
And that's where you have to, consider that's the theoretical margin, which is not 100% accurate all the time. There are errors in calculations, there's errors in manufacturing, there's errors in installing, and that could also throw off the seal. And so if it's already this close to the temperature needed that it needs to launch, then well, we don't know. for sure what'll happen because there could be something wrong with it all. Well,
Yeah.
not wrong with it, but it could, if it's just a little bit off, that'll throw it off.
Well, I mean, that's where some of those potential risks kind of come into play because weather isn't quite. So I think weather would make a great one to add on there
That's
because
true.
with that small of a margin, there's a very easy possibility
Right.
of just something changing. Hey, maybe there's an extra cloud that comes in over the launch pad.
The
The
sun gets blocked out. It
sun gets
cools
blocked
down
out
and
by something. We also don't know anything about our location, which kind of adds to the unpredictability to feel it, if I can remember how to spell. So with the unpredictability, there's definitely a couple different factors. There's weather, location, because as location changes, elevation changes.
right.
As elevation changes, temperature changes. Then there's also the O-ring itself, material inaccuracy. We were obviously given the information on the O-ring seal itself, but
Yeah.
we also don't know how accurate that information is itself. I probably misspelled like 3 words already. That's nice. But I think that that unpredictability that comes up is going to be a big issue when we're considering the overall question of launch or no launch, because
Yeah.
there's going to be lives at risk here
Yeah.
when we do end up launching. I mean, unless it's like an unmanned mission, because we there wasn't a lot of information on what kind of mission it
That's
is.
true. It could
If
be,
if it's a
and if it's just a probe that goes into space, if it's just a rover or something, then I mean, still the people on the ground are at risk.
yeah, but then
But that
there's
definitely eliminates some of the risk of the people that would be on
the
board.
lives at stake.
But
Yeah,
that's still the risk would be just the money. And that's happened before. So they sent a rover, I think, to Mars,
was it a Mars one?
and there's the unit conversions because they were talking to people from Europe
Yes, I heard
and
about
then to
that.
the US, and they launched it like straight into the surface, and it's
Just
just
blew
there
up.
it goes.
Yeah,
Like probably years of preparation, time,
just
money
because they
into
didn't
that,
convert from
and
like
then waiting for it to get there, and then they realize, oh wow, there's all that time and money down the drain. Boom.
because they didn't convert from feet to
Um,
meters.
yeah.
So
So even unmanned, it's got
yeah, definitely.
big consequences.
Yeah, and that comes with potential risk. Probably falls under financial risk because that's
Yes.
millions, billions of dollars wasted on rocket design, jobs, everything of
Yeah.
people designing these things. So I feel like that probably get added on there too. Um, no, we have money.
And that's not just pure resources of the company too. That's investors and all
Yeah,
that,
like stock market, things like
and
that.
maybe people's who might lose their jobs because of this, like us, if we launch it and something
Yeah.
happens.
Well, I mean, we got a lot of potential risks. What kind of benefits do you think would come with something like
The
that?
only benefits of launching versus not launching is just kind of the same thing. It's just it takes time and money to do something like this. All these people are here, working, ready to launch this rocket, and if they delay it, all those people have to stay longer. They have to use more energy to do that. It's uh, still the only benefits money.
And kind of the publicity too, the people.
That's true. Yeah,
Because there's,
the reputation. There we go.
yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Oh, wow, this is impossible to read, but it says reputation.
Yeah,
I hope. Yeah.
no, you're good. But yeah, no, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people watching these
Yeah.
launches every time one goes on, especially big name like NASA.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of
Exactly.
people watching that. So if everybody's all set up, sitting on their couches, watching, ready to see this thing take off, and then they're kind of just like, "Hey, no,"
Yeah.
that could cause some issues there. But if they go ahead with the launch, none of that gets affected. Everybody's all happy.
And at that point, it's what's the percentage of failure? It's just we don't know because we don't know the exact.
And the question is that risk
So
enough to say postpone
yeah, is
launch?
that chance of this temperature not being where we think it's going to be worth the lives of the people on board potentially, the money involved with all that, the time it took to plan this, all that. Um,
And the decline in reputation and
yeah,
opinions of the company itself. Because, I mean, obviously, while it isn't something they can control, there is still kind of that publicity part of it.
yeah,
The
exactly.
big company like NASA has to keep face, make sure that they aren't losing supporters and things like that. Because aren't they privately funded?
I think so. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they might get subsidies from the government, but it's a private company.
still, yeah.
Yeah,
So, what do you
I'm
think?
not sure about that.
Well, I think
But then yeah, then it's how important are the lives of these people? You know, it's like, are you really gonna risk the lives of these people if you on some based on something you don't even know for sure?
yeah.
It's just
So, what are you thinking? Because
uh
I got my answer.
yeah, I do think that given the circumstance here and that we don't have a thermometer outside for some reason, I think launching is just too risky to do.
Yeah, at least at this point in time, too
Yeah.
risky to do. Like postpone later in the day
Yeah,
when
and
it's afternoon.
that means we could still do it later today. It's just we just need to get someone with a thermometer out there
Yeah, just
to check the temperature.
to get our accurate readings because the 60 is just our
And if
predicted.
it's below our predicted value, then we might have to rethink.
Then
But
totally no.
if it's still there or even above it, then I think
The main idea is just increasing, like from that little diagram I had before. The main idea is just we can't be in that box. So right now we're sitting like here compared to that
yeah,
box. We need to get more to like up here.
yeah,
So I think the main idea is just increasing the margin between 55 and 60 degrees. So if we can get up closer to like maybe at least 70, make that margin at least like 15, that'd be perfect. I said go for it,
I
but
mean
unfortunately not the
it's
case.
tough to change the outside temperature. I mean, you can bring a flamethrower outside. Good luck. Maybe a little dangerous, but
But I think overall, given the circumstances, the situation, the potential risks, everything like that, I think our best solution is just gonna,
to not launch.
yeah,
But I mean, once we can confirm temperature, who knows? I don't know.
totally different ball game if we get some more info. But for now, no lunch.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're good.